Hi, my name is Joe LaRocca, and I'm joined here by co-MC Amber Virgilio. Today, we're at the National Retail Federation's Protect Conference in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where we have exhibitors on the show floor, loss prevention and law enforcement professionals from around the country, all here for educational sessions, networking opportunities, and really to share best practices and understand what's happening in the future within our industry. There's been some really exciting announcements, and over the next 4.5 hours, we'll be sharing the content, announcements, and having a few guest speakers along the way. Amber, why don't you share a little bit about what's coming up?
All the hot news, really.
That's
all
right.
the hot news.
Here we are again.
We're live.
We're
live.
back.
We're back. It still doesn't get old. I can't help
never.
it. So we're making history. It bears noting once again, right? You gave them the rundown. I'm going to give them the historic rundown. Making history, streaming live from NRF. How cool is that?
That's right.
Fort Lauderdale, the sun, the beach.
We did this in New York in January for the very first run. Extremely successful, and you've probably seen some of those clips over the internet. And what's happening today, this is being streamed live over the internet, down on the show floor just below us. And it's obviously
What's up, exhibitors?
That's right. Hello.
That's a shout out.
That's right. And it's all being recorded. These segments will be re-aired over time through the D&D Daily exclusively. Really exciting. Amber, what's on the agenda?
We've got a packed afternoon. We just heard some great stuff from WG, and I'll tell you, just so everyone knows, Joe, to clear the record, he was not talking about me, talking about buying a dress and then wearing it to a party and returning it. I don't do that, but how cool is it? You have innovative solution providers rolling with it, rolling with the retailer challenges like people stealing ideas off of Sex and City.
That's
right?
Well, it's a big issue. It's a multi-billion-dollar problem for the industry.
Come on, ladies, what are you thinking?
Buy
the dress.
Dive in. There's the illegal and there's the unethical.
Yep.
And return fraud can really border on both.
Yeah,
So,
Joe's getting serious, but I'm going to run through the agenda.
So you're going to go through the agenda?
I will. Finally, you've asked me 3 times. That's what it takes.
I can do it.
The third question. Oh, I know.
I've got it right here.
Hashtag, who do you want to run through the agenda? I think it could be me. Okay,
vote for Amber, Amber Virgilio, or LaRocca J. Okay, Amber wins. Here we go.
Yep.
There it is,
we're tallying the votes on the screen over here, and yep, I won.
I just did an Eric Cantor. I lost. Okay, Amber, it's all up to you.
Vicky Cantrell is coming right up. That's going to be awesome. She's going to be talking about some really good stuff. We heard her in the general session yesterday. Now she gets even more airtime, which is awesome.
And she's with the new Vice President of Loss Prevention, Robert Maraca, who just started with the NRF 2 weeks ago. So new to the audience and was introduced here at the show just yesterday.
And that's no relation to Joe LaRocca.
LaRocca.
Sorry, I can't help it. It's too easy.
No. I have to find out if he's Italian, though.
Okay, so we got some other retailers coming up because we've entered, really, the retailer packed segment. I can see all those viewers clicking on here, can't you?
That's right.
Because we're streaming live.
Of course.
We're back.
We're
okay,
back.
sorry. So we've got Steve Ippolito from Talbot's and Gary Johnson from the Vitamin Shop. Those are not only heavy hitters in the industry, but they're built and they're fit. So, I mean, that's going to be a good segment, right?
That's right. Just they're right behind there, and they're getting prepped right now in their session. And then following that, we've got some really exciting sessions talking with Melissa Mitchell, who is the chair of the awards program with the National Retail Federation's LP Advisory Council. She'll be talking about...
she is also like an aeronautical physiological space scientist or something. Did you know that? It's insane. We're going to talk to her about that. I think we should.
And she also served in the U.S. Army.
Yeah, so she's probably the smartest woman I've ever met in my life.
She's pretty smart. So Melissa Mitchell will be talking about the awards program. This morning, 3 different awards were given out. You're going to hear from some of those award recipients today.
What about Dan Doyle?
Well, Dan Doyle comes up just before Melissa.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yes, we've got, it's action-packed. We got Joan Manson, we've mentioned her, and I hope she talks about the incredible charity opportunity that the Women in LP Caucus put together, which was awesome.
I think I'm going to be interviewing Joan Manson.
You really are?
I really am.
That's another self-promotional plug. Good for you, Joe.
We love Joni Manson. So Joan comes up. You know, I think we need to sneak Dan Doyle in here during our next short segment.
Next short segment, we've got Dan Doyle. We may have some other folks as they stop by to get in the makeup chair. That's right, folks. We're not this beautiful.
No.
Normally.
No, and we're going to need some help. We might even have a few guest MCs along the way.
Who knows? I mean, this is we're rolling with it, really. I mean, our teleprompter's rolling, but we're ignoring it. We don't care.
That's right. Well, and after that, we're going to have Keith White, who's the Senior Vice President of Loss Prevention with Gap Inc., and he's a co-founder of the IOBSE, the International Organization of Black Security Executives. He'll be joined by one of the partners within the IOBSE, hearing some really exciting stuff about diversity programs and what's happening outside of the NRF organization.
And we've got Dan Faculty. So it's not even just one specific retail. We've got food, we've got specialty, we've got big box. I mean, what are we not covering? I don't even know. It's crazy.
And Dan will be joined by Professor Bob Hansen with Northern Michigan University. Professor Hansen was on the front line of creating the first loss prevention bachelor's degree. He worked closely with the National Retail Federation, Dan Faculty, a number of retailers from around the country. He's done fabulous work. And if you're sitting at home right now watching this stream online, you too could watch NMU and take classes there, earn your degree. You'll hear a lot more about that during their session.
Yeah, to include all these continuing education things like Loss Prevention Foundation, like the International Association of Interviewers. I mean, LP is becoming packed with continuing education for betterment of your career.
That's right. And after Dan Faculty and Bob Hansen talk, we're going to hear from Jeff Fulmer, who's the chair of the NRF's LP Legislative Committee.
Man, you know this agenda.
We're going to
This
hear
is
from,
impressive.
I'm cheating, I got a sheet. We're going to hear from John Gold, who's Vice President of Government Relations, Supply Chain Customs Policy. They're on the front lines of loss prevention legislation on Capitol Hill, talking about organized retail crime, addressing the problems at the federal level, but also working with our state partners out in the field.
Remember to tweet those questions. I think Twitter almost has exploded. That's our goal today. It's hashtag NRFLP14. Now we're going to send it over to Gus in just 1 second. We'll see you soon. Don't click that X, guys.
We'll be right back.